G'day guys, welcome to PBHQ Live. This is episode number 352. I am back after a week off, and what a week I had. I'm Dwayne Nichols. You're probably pretty aware of that by now if you're checking out this show. You are probably someone who plays paintball in Australia, New Zealand, maybe elsewhere around the world. And if you are checking in at the moment, let me know who you are and where you are and why you're watching, and drop a comment in the chat. And we'll get this whole thing rolling. Chris Dickens is in, Estevan is in, Brad Short, Will McDonald is in using 2 accounts apparently. Jordan Bradshaw is in also. So thank you everyone for checking out the show. If you were playing piano in South Australia over the weekend, the paintball event, not the instrument, let us know what you thought of the event. I'll have a bit of feedback and the results from that one coming up in just a little bit. If you are coming to Wagga this weekend for our 4-play event, well, let me know what you're looking forward to getting out here. I think it's set for a total top of about 12 degrees this Sunday. Beautiful July weather. This event, of course, replacing the NXL ACT event that was supposed to be happening this weekend, but they've sort of scrapped that series for the year. If it's going to be 12 degrees here, it'll probably be like 8 in Canberra. So whilst you might be thinking, damn, that sounds cold, really be thankful. Yeah. Peter Burgess is in from Top Hat Jokers. So thanks for joining in. John O'Collins is in. Billy Callias is also checking in. And the other event coming up this weekend, which I'll touch on very briefly, is the Malaysian X-Ball League. Their Division 1 and 2 is coming up, and there is a bit of an Australian flavour happening in that one. Speaking of events, and paintballshop.com, major sponsor of the show, obviously tied all in with Action Paintball at Yarramundi. They have started promoting, as of this afternoon, on July 16, a 3-man tournament at Action Paintball Yarramundi. 15 balls per second, only $150 per team to enter. There is a Facebook event that has been created specifically for this one. Now, if you're thinking, man, they've put a 3-man together on a random date in July on short notice. Well, this is an event to replace the Yarramundi 10-man that has been postponed. I don't know why. They haven't told me why the Yarra 10-man has been postponed. Perhaps the stranglehold that SWAT Recon have on that event, they felt like it was slipping and they needed longer to prepare. But instead, they have thrown on a 3-man event. So this is a fortnight away. If you want to play, $150 per team to enter, so $50 per player. There is no team cap. At least that's what they tell me. So get out. Rather than training for the day, there is a social event that you can play. In saying that, you keep your eyes over this side of the screen, you'll see a whole bunch of events, including the Australian Bushball Masters, that are all coming up on that same weekend. Big weekend for paintball all around Australia. Events in Sydney, Melbourne, and elsewhere, other places that escape me at the moment. There was supposed to be an event coming up in WA, and if you are in WA and haven't heard the news, your new bunker set is essentially a myth. It was ordered something like 10 or 11 months ago and still has not arrived. They're tentatively looking at July 30, I believe. Timmy Colgan said that they're hoping to get that event happening, which was supposed to be a little sooner. But yeah, I just don't know how that's all playing out. Really frustrating for everyone over in WA at the moment. I hear that they're training, the field is just getting smaller and smaller, and the bunkers that are holding air are becoming less and less. But hopefully their new field will arrive soon, and it can kickstart the ball rolling again. Bill says that he's already booked in for the 3-man. That's cool to hear. Alex from Thailand is in. Says that he misses the Wagga events. Yeah, I miss having you here too, mate. Well, I just miss the fact that the Canberra and Wagga scene was just such a vibe the last couple of years. But it's really fallen off from both ends. Canberra and Wagga have sort of fallen away a little bit, but I'm doing everything I can to keep it alive and give players from our area an option to keep coming and playing paintball, and I will always do that to the best of my ability. The other major sponsor of the show, speaking of the event here in Wagga and the event in Malaysia that I'm previewing tonight, a couple of shout outs to sponsored teams from Gladiator, for Asylum, for Entourage for this weekend. So hopefully you'll be hearing on PBHQ on Monday of next week that these teams got themselves on the podiums at their respective events. Gladiator make a great product, and the best players here in Australia all use it. If you want to also use it, go to gladiator.com.au to find out where you can buy one. Couple of news items that I wanted to touch on tonight, and I'll get through things fairly quickly, I'd imagine, tonight here on the show. But Infinite Tournament Paintball, if that means nothing to you, it is a new game that is available on Steam. Here is a screen grab of that game. It looks really clean. It plays pretty decent. I think it was 21 or 22 Australian dollars to buy the game. There is a Discord server that has over 1,500 people in it, and a bunch more people joined today. I didn't notice any dramatic lag. I imagine I'd be playing on US servers, but you could host a server too, and I certainly could host an Australian server if people wanted to jump on and play at some point, to play on a more local server if they're so interested in doing so. And I played a couple of games earlier today. I actually haven't had a great deal of time to prepare for PBHQ today. I had a school holiday group come and play paintball today, as well as some immunizations for my son at the doctor's. So between doing both of those things and trying to get prepared, and trying to spend 20 minutes playing this game so I could at least give a bit of feedback on how it plays out, I'm a little short on information on some of the events, but I'll do my best to get through it. And I did happen to have one decent little point where I got a little 3-pack, and it might, depending on the screen that you're watching on, it might be a little bit hard to see, but I'll try and talk you through it. You'll be able to watch how the game sort of plays. The only problem is, in these types of games, you lose opponents quite quickly, and communication isn't the best. So I didn't realize that there was one guy left, and he shoots me right at the end. But check it out. This is Infinite Tournament Paintball. So yeah, they've got a little box that you break out from, and you'll see the player to my left diving, got eliminated. That's what that little laser line is there. I shoot the back center here, so he dies. And then when I wrap on the inside, I kill the guy in the tower. Our guy died, and then I thought everybody except one was dead, so I just ran down looking for them. They shoot at me there. Nice little snapshot here. Pick up what I thought was the last guy. But after walking around and realizing that there was still something happening, I get shot from the 50, and that wrapped up that one. But yeah, pretty fun. The thing that I find most about paintball games, and I've played just about every one that's been out now, is I find it hard. They can't capture, and I don't know how they could, they can't capture what it feels like to play a point where you're going to use 4 or 5 pods, or where your team really needs to work and communicate to get through a point and win the point. Or nearly every point I've played, I could not tell you if, of say the 20 points I played during the game, I don't think any of them lasted a minute. Some last as little as 10 or 15 seconds. People just run down the field, and if they're, if they're not getting shot at, or if there's any little latency things and they're not getting hit for whatever reason, they just run down and clean up everybody, and it's over really quickly. I don't know what you could do as a developer to really capture that game feel where people just aren't moving around as much. It's pretty wild that people, I mean, there's no risk of getting hit. There's no prize money. There's none of the things that come with tournament paintball that really give it that feel of speedball. In saying that, the controls are really easy to pick up. It feels like paintball in the sense that it's got genuine guns, so you can use a Lux. You can use die guns. There's rotors on there. You can pick from a couple of different die masks. So obviously die have come on board and supported it in some way. It is fun. For the 20 odd bucks to pick it up, I think it's worth it. You're supporting someone within the industry doing good things. Russell from New Zealand is joining in. Jordan saying it's not bad. Yeah, I think it's a bit of fun. I think it would be cool if you could get 2 teams of 5 to play in a server at the same time, maybe on Discord, where you're communicating with one another, and turn it into a bit more of a realistic feel rather than 5 individuals just doing random things. But yeah, Infinite Tournament Paintball, worth checking out. I've put up that clip also as a little short here on YouTube and up on TikTok as well if you wanted to check it out. Again, and if you want to jump on and play the game, well, you can get the Discord link. Go to Infinite Tournament Paintball on Facebook, and you'll see all the information. Yeah, single player. Well, it is multiplayer. You are playing against real people online when you're playing. The layouts are all layouts from previous NXL events. There is even some NXL Asia layouts in there. I don't know if you can build your own custom layout. I didn't notice that in the little bit of time that I played it, but you can, yeah, you can customize your mask, your headband, your jersey, maybe your pod pack, and then your gun, your loader. There's some Hormesis headbands in the game. Some of the bunkers are branded with Hormesis stuff as well. But I believe that it's just, yeah, Brent is saying, yeah, it's just NXL layouts at the moment. So, but there is a fair few of them. And as the server host can rotate you through. So after you play 4 or 5 points on a particular layout, you can swap. The sliding and diving is pretty cool compared with some other games that I've played that are paintball games that just don't do that as well. So yeah, for $20, pretty good entertainment, worth checking it out. And other little bit of news here for tonight. And I seen this posted the other day that JT are celebrating 40 years in paintball. So I think the first ever game of paintball was June 1981, I think. And now, so yeah, 1983, JT got into the game and have been a staple of the game. And their popularity has sort of risen and fallen over the years at various stages. They're probably going through a bit of a period of popularity at the moment. I have had this mask and I don't even know what this is. Someone gave me this mask years and years ago and it has been up in my cupboard. I'm not sure which particular JT mask this is. Covered in dust. I don't know if you can see that. I can screen. But yeah, they're going through a period of real popularity at the moment. I think their customization, I think their wide field of view when you're wearing their goggles is really popular with a lot of players. Referees in particular have often loved them. The detachable bottoms, so you can wear them just as a goggle as well. Yeah, and we're all saying Hormesis headbands are microtransaction. They haven't got any microtransactions in there at the moment. The game, I think, was 1 gig. It might have even been less. When you click launch on Steam, it literally loads to the menu instantly. You could click launch on Steam and be playing a game within about 10 seconds. So there you go. Brad saying I had my JT jersey and pants on for training yesterday. Yeah, well, my first pair of paintball pants were JT pants. Had them for a couple of years while I was reffing at the field before I started playing more often. And Alex saying comfy fit and no sound rebound inside the mask. Yeah, well, if you've been doing anything for 40 years in business and you're still kicking, you're doing pretty good. So shout out to JT on everything they've done over the years. And most people will have owned a JT product or a JT inspired product over their time in paintball. So yeah, shout out to those guys on a job well done. Results, PYANO was on over the weekend. Now, this is a photo of Will McDonald in a Hormesis headband. He is shooting someone from the Adelaide Assassins, I assume. Great photo here. And it says by Wimpy617, which is Will's. And obviously, Will is quite talented. But I can't imagine he is so talented that he can play and also take this photo. I believe Bree from Victoria, who travelled over for the event to play with the Jokers, was also doing some photography on the day with Will's gear. I imagine she probably captured this one, but Chaos, Will's team, got the win, their first win in some time. The old boys, as Will called them, or the wiser guys, as I will choose to call them, beat the Adelaide Assassins, who got second. Jokers got third. Bounty Hunters fourth. Only the 4 teams out there in South Australia. That's pretty standard unless teams from Victoria head over. Jokers apparently were looking good and better than they have in a long time. Bounty Hunters had a couple of ring-ins last minute and a couple of people sick. They were playing short on numbers. And the Adelaide Assassins did not have their full strength roster out there. A couple of their more experienced and top level players weren't available. They still had a solid team out there. Seen a photo including Lee and some of the guys. So Congratulations to Chaos on the win. Will McDonald said it was a good event. Shouted out to Rui and Jill and the Jokers, everyone who gets these events together. It's a real community event out there in South Australia. They're on the new turf that they've had for maybe 12 months now, and they used the bunkers that the guys from Bounty Hunters had bought from me a little while ago. So that is like the bricks and the giant wings that they did not have before, and a couple of mini W's in amongst some of the existing bunkers that they've got. So like I say, real community feel to that stuff. Yeah, Bree did take that pick, confirmed by Will McDonald in the chat at the moment. So yeah, congrats to the guys from Chaos. Will was quick to mention that they have the dummy, which is like the local prize, a bit of a gag prize over there in South Australia. They've won the most recent event, and the 1v1 leather belt, like the wrestling championship style leather belt, is also owned by a Chaos player at the moment. So Chaos are just sweeping the pool so far in Adelaide this year. And with one PYANO event to go for the year, it will come down to either Chaos or Assassins for the series title. The next one, Michael Nomoski is asking, let me just see if I can open a new tab in the background. Make a total mess of what I'm trying to do whilst I do it. I think it's October, but let me confirm. PYANO, October 14. That may have changed, but on my paintball calendar that I set up every year, that is what it was last I knew. So if you're looking to head over, or if you're looking to drag an Asylum team over Nomoski, well, October 14 is when it's happening. Righto, so that's the results from the weekend over in South Australia. Previews for this weekend. There is 2 events coming up. The MXBL Division 1 and 2 is happening at Kenyan Paintball in Malaysia. So Dave over there getting another event together. The field layout is online. It has been online for about a week. You can go and check that out. They are also promoting some t-shirts that you can buy, like event t-shirts for the MXBL. So you can go and buy one of those if you're playing the event. There is 20 teams across Division 1 and 2. I think it was split 12 in Division 2 and 8 in Division 1. And in Division 2, STK Entourage and Nomads, both from Perth, will be making the trek over. This will be the 5th international trip this year for some of the players on STK Entourage. Incredible, incredible effort. They've been to Singapore twice, Malaysia. This will be the 2nd trip to Malaysia, and Thailand for the TXBL once as well. So huge, huge effort from STK Entourage and some of their players for getting from Perth to Asia for the 5th time this year. Massive, massive undertaking to do just that. Thomas Hitcham saying easy win for Chaos. Hey, I'm not going to argue if you think that was the case. Will did say they didn't drop a game all day. They lost the odd point but didn't lose a game. So going through undefeated does sound like, well, easy might not be the word, but comfortably perhaps got the win over there at PYANO over the weekend. So again, congratulations to those guys. The MXBL, by the way, they have previously had a webcast, and I seen that Dave was promoting a webcast for this weekend as well. So if you go to Malaysia X-Ball League on Facebook, you'll be able to find that webcast over the weekend, and you can support the guys from STK or from Nomads or from any of the teams around Asia, because they do drag teams in from Singapore, from Thailand and elsewhere to their events at the MXBL. So yeah, support your mates and watch some paintball over the weekend. The other event that is happening this weekend, which you will not be able to watch on a live stream unless I choose to do the odd little one throughout the course of the day, will be the 4-play event here in Wagga. 4-man teams. It is a trial of a fixed price event. It is $1,200 per team. You get 10 boxes of paint included, entry included, lunch included. I picked up the glassware today, which you would have seen if you follow my Fields account on Instagram. 8 teams for the trial. It is sold out. Race to 2, 6-minute clock, 11 balls per second. People from Sydney, Melbourne, Dubbo, I think a player or 2 from Canberra. We are so grateful for the players that continue to support us here in Wagga and come from all over to play these events. I think it will be good fun. It is definitely an affordable way to do things. Just $240 per player if you have 5 players rostered. Alex is saying, see you there at MXBL. Who are you playing with, Alex? I imagine you'd be in Division 2. Let us know what team you're with, and we can support you as well. Another player from Australia, or previously from Australia, now of Thailand, playing out there in the MXBL. Yeah, I just wanted to try this out. Matt Kashadi at Sniper's Den did something similar a few years ago that we, as Asylum, went down and played and got second. Should have won if it wasn't for one of our players slipping over on his way to the buzzer. He still gets roasted about. That's him there, actually. Jack up in the photo just before. Yeah, it's good to know that you can go into an event. The price is fixed. You're not going to get any bill shock. Your team's not going to shoot 5 boxes more or 10 boxes more paint than you're expecting. One-day event. We'll get through quickly. I think it will be good fun. Hopefully. Oh, you're playing with Nomads. Okay, yeah. So support the Australian guys. And if this is popular under this format, I'll probably continue to do it, or might throw it in once or twice a year as an event for people to come to and know that they can have an affordable, fun weekend of paintball. And like all of the events here in Wagga, there will be no sheep stations on the line. If anyone takes themselves too seriously, they'll probably be asked to leave. It is a social event. That's always the way it has been, and that's why players continue to come back, or at least that's why I imagine players continue to come back. But we do get repeat teams like the guys from Dubbo, players from Sydney, players from Melbourne that come back regularly. And we're actually lucky, a few people this time around, like Brent, who was in the chat earlier, are coming for the first time. So spots were available for those guys to come down, and hopefully they'll continue to return into the future. So that's the events coming up this weekend. I've got a few things to do before we wrap up the show. The Photoshop challenge, some birthday shout outs, and then giveaways. These giveaways. So birthdays, let's get through them. Jaden, Christy, birthdays today. So Christy Batman Stevens celebrating her birthday, as well as Jaden, who I haven't seen Jaden around much lately. So I hope he's well. Lana, who played her most recent paintball event whilst pregnant and won it. She's celebrating a birthday. Chris Dickens, who was in the chat just a little bit earlier as well. Nathan Dunn, Cam Woodhouse, Axel, and Yowie, all celebrating birthdays. I thought it was cool to use a photo of Yowie playing paintball as opposed to reffing paintball, which he does more often than not these days. So photo of Yowie by Core there for the birthday shout outs this week. Happy birthday to everyone for this week. Will McDonald, previously featured in the photo from PYANO, also featured in the thumbnail for this video if you were looking a little bit earlier. He suggested a Photoshop challenge, and is this Brett? I think it's Brett. His teammate, I'm not sure the context of this one, if he's saying there's one left alive, if he's asking the ref something, don't know. But Will sent it to me. I put it out to the masses, as I so often do. And Billy Collier saying, hey, that's me for the picture for the Australian Bushball Masters. Yeah, well, you're paintball famous, mate. Super Sevens apparently lays claim to doing that, but I also do it occasionally. Yeah, so this photo, Chaos at PYANO over the weekend. Send it out to you guys for your best edits and memes, and I've featured a couple here on the show. So this one came through later this afternoon. Hands up in class, little paintball magazine desk, like that. Thought that was pretty creative. Will McDonald with the Leo, that one. If you're familiar with memes, you have to be up to date on your meme culture to understand this one. But he's watching paintball. Look at that reflection in the mask. Very well done by Will McDonald there. And then this was my personal one. It reminded me for some reason, and I don't understand why. I haven't had a Jehovah's Witness knock at the door here in a long time at my house, but that's the sort of vibes I got. So talk about our Lord Ryan Greenspan. I was going to go with Ollie Lang, but I feel like Greenspan's been at the top of his game for just and more consistently without trips to or living in Indonesia for years on end. And then Will McDonald, the originator of this photo being used, very topical. Whilst that looks like Pajara maybe from India getting given out there, I just love the controversy that we had in the Ashes last night. Well, I mean, British people will call it controversy. I'll just call it a wicket with Johnny Bairstow. So really cool. Like that one. One of the better efforts, and the reflection in the goggles of the players is really good. And I think, did I load up? Yeah, I did. Oh, I just didn't drag it into place. Let me work here. This is one of the more simple ones that I would have never thought of, and it actually made me chuckle out loud. The basketball on the finger. It seems like a big basketball, maybe not to scale with the head of Brett there, but yeah, really cool effort. Thank you everyone for submitting these. It is one of the things, I'm 352 episodes in. There is definitely some things that I do on the show that I like going through the motion, that I don't look forward to doing necessarily, or that I do because I have to do it. The Photoshop challenge, every single time it pops up, is something that I look forward to doing and I really enjoy. And if you see any paintball photos from any events at any time, send me a message, suggest it to me so that I can put it out to the masses and we can have it added in to the show for a little bit of fun towards the end of PBHQ. Now, patrons of the show, most of your names have been scrolling along here at the bottom of the show throughout this episode, as they always do. And I have your names right here in this little handy dandy website. And I'm going to randomize this list 5 separate times. And 5 people, and if I just come back to me, just so you can see what I'm talking. 5 separate people will win a hat and a barrel sock. I have right behind my camera a hat here prepared, so you can see, trucker style cap. Really like these. I've gone through 2 of them because I wear them non-stop and just get them filthy at the field all the time. And also PBHQ barrel sock by Exalt. So 5 people will be winning prizes if you're in the number 1 slot. When I randomize this list on each of the 5 spins, you'll get it. There will be no double ups though, because it is truly random. If someone happens to be there in the number 1 spot twice, there'll have to be a spin. So let's check out and see how we go. And someone write this down in the comments for me so I don't have to remember all of them. Hey, that'd be real helpful. Number 1, Michael Simpson. Oh, let me just drag that down so you can see it. 87 people in the list. Michael Simpson from here in Wagga, who will be playing the foreplay this weekend. So I am saving on shipping on the first one. I like that. Thank you. And I won't forget that. Jeremy Reed, who will not be at the Wagga foreplay, but I can get it to him fairly easily as well. So congratulations to you, Jez. Eamon, who will be reffing the... this is ridiculous. Who will be refereeing this weekend at the Wagga foreplay. I'm pretty glad that this is turning out this way, because I did have some anxiety around shipping hats and how they would get crushed. Luis, so from Dubbo or thereabouts, I will get that out to him as well later this week. And then is this the 5th one? Yeah, your list has been randomized 5 times. Lachlan McKenzie. So I'll get that organized as well. Thank you for Alex dropping the names in the chat. Very helpful of you there, mate, so that I didn't have to write them down. Didn't really plan for 5 prize winners as much as I should have. Whoops, wrong button. And if you think that prize would be cool to win for yourself, and you're wondering how all these people do it, well, you go to patreon.com/PBHQ. It says it right over there. You can still sign up. And this year, my Patreon list has gone down. It was over 100 last year. It is down to 87, which is understandable. People leaving the game, cost of living type stuff is going on at the moment, whatever the case might be. But if you can spare a few bucks, want to support the show and get your PBHQ hat in the ring, so to speak, win some prizes. Well, the prizes for the remainder of the year that you could be eligible for are these ones. The next prize, one of my favorites and one that I used just last week on holiday, the Anthrax backpacks. I didn't take a suitcase or a duffel bag. I used the Anthrax backpack for a 4-day trip because you can fit so much stuff in them. So yeah, recommend those. They will be the prize at the beginning of next month. Then 3 people will win a box of paint for the next time out at their local field, wherever that happens to be. And then in September, a pod bag filled with 50 pods. I think they're called Dye Alpha pods. are the ones that I went with. And in October, one of my favorite paintball products, the carbon protective bottom layer, will be going to one lucky winner. So thank you to everyone who is a patron. Thanks, of course, to the sponsors of the show. And thank you to everyone who checks it out. That is it done for tonight. Join me again next Monday for another episode of PBHQ Live with the results from Malaysia and here in Wagga, and a preview for a big weekend coming up the following weekend with all the events you've probably been seeing scrolling around over here. Thanks, guys. See you next week. Bye.